to play a little pinball here. Well, hi, Jim. I'm so happy that... Just be dumb, I guess. I don't do a particular evangelist, but I do, my friend, an evangelistical type person. Say yeah. And thanks for joining us here on the Hallelujah Challenge Bowl, where divine inspiration has provided me with the questions unwritten and unseen before by human eyes or mind. No. Hi. All right. Let's see. Richard Pryor? Yeah. I don't do impressions. I don't know. I just don't know.
You don't do what?
Impressions. Impersonations. I can throw them out every now and then, but until someone says, ask me to, then I go, well, what should I do? That was Reagan. That was my Reagan. What do you think? Well, well. Ow, Popeye. Ow, ow, Popeye. Okay. Hello again. The Challenge Bowl rolls on. Welcome. Welcome to the Challenge Bowl. The Challenge Bowl. What's going on, folks? It's week number 8. We're right in the middle of the elimination round. 8 weeks ago, we started out with 6 teams: Jordan, St. Anthony, Wilson, Lakewood, Milliken, and Pauley. St. Anthony went through the winners round undefeated. Now they're waiting to see who their challenger will be in the championship game. The elimination round started 2 weeks ago. 2 teams have already been eliminated: Lakewood and Milliken. And we're sorry to see them go. Tonight, we'll lose someone else, because the way the game works now is as long as the team continues to win, they remain in contention. Once they lose, they're eliminated. Tonight's game features 2 teams who have won 1 game now here in the elimination round: Jordan and Wilson. Let's meet them now, shall we? To my right, Wilson High School team captain Charles Ballo, last week's winners. Welcome back, guys. How you doing? Is this the marvelous and wonderful Maggie and the beautiful and sincere Mary? And they're here. Welcome. We were just talking about those St. Anthony kids.
Oh, turn your heads up when you do that. Rip it over my ear, yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Let's read it now. Okay, well. Hello. Welcome back to the Challenge Bowl. We're rolling right along, folks. Week number 8, right in the middle of the elimination round. 8 weeks ago, we started with 6 teams: Jordan, St. Anthony, Wilson, Lakewood, Milliken, and Pauley. St. Anthony has won the winners round. They're waiting to see who will challenge them in the championship game. 2 teams have been eliminated: Lakewood and Milliken. We have
When they don't answer the question, so many seconds wide.
She comes out of it. Now, as long as the team wins, they stay in contention. The team loses, they're out of contention. They're eliminated. Tonight's game features Jordan and Wilson. Hello, Mr. Ressinger. How you doing? Well, we didn't catch that on camera. Just directions for the after show party. Thanks. Next week's game is Pauley versus tonight's winner. That's correct. And then the winner of that game against whom? And that's absolutely right.
Are you guys calling it?
It would be a little loud, though. Roll tape. Give me
Take one. Go now. Go.
film chain. And knitting, and knitting. Well, like sushi there, you know. It's like the challenge bowl time, like, you know, shishi there, like, we've got Pixie versus Dixie. Check. Did you play at all? Flintstones? Have you? No.
I'm on the team.
You're on the roster?
Yeah. You know, school gets out in a month, I might stay for a while. I played on Wednesday night.
How's that going?
Good. Yeah, we're 2-1. Or actually, we're 2-0 now. We were up 13-7 in the last inning. We lost the league high. Bad. They scored 2 runs without getting the ball out of the infield.
Ooh,
Really pathetic.
sounds like early diggers.
This is like the team I'm on. They're like D, you know, they're just guys who go out and have fun.
Did you? Ta-da-da.
This is not our side.
It's the Wen.
Hi.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
All right. What's your last name again, Wen?
They've stolen all my green papers. So this will be your cue.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
Every question I was like, hey, Dan.
I would feel like
Em, I'm sorry.
he remembers.
Hi, Todd. How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Stella
This is weird you don't understand.
and Woody.
I don't like this side.
Dan, I do believe that the answer is 3/5.
All right. Looking for a good game tonight. Two
You
winning
betcha.
teams here.
Two on the outside. Remember how to go around talking to the mic?
No.
Na 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 na.
Go like this. Say, First Amendment, Dan.
Yeah.
Woo!
That's not Dan.
Dunno.
Fifth Amendment, I do believe.
Uh-oh.
All right, Todd. Woo! Look at
that way.
you.
Just look that way.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
I'm not very good at enthusiasm. That's not my specialty.
You want to hit her, don't you?
Smack that child upside the head. Oh, you know, even if we lose, I'll come back next week just to cheer. I'll stand up here and
We'll dance and everything. It'll be simple. We got balloons coming up from behind. That's what we have to have, you know. In the championship game, Steve, we have to have balloons that come up at the end of the game.
Wait.
Whoa! We could have him come down. Pop and
Do one arm. Do you like go like this? Go.
What?
Remember, your buzzers are the ones right in front of you.
yeah. Use your own buzzers.
Last week.
Did you guys watch last week's game? They were hitting each other's buzzers. So then that person wouldn't know the answer. So if no one knew, like she would be told to hit hers, and then she'd be.
I'm gonna play tricks on you. What? I didn't know that.
Here we go.
Now listen, if I don't see you.
Yeah, have a nice time. All right. Here we go.
I don't know.
Are we set? Are we
Here
set?
we go. Ready?
This is weird
All right.
on this.
Jordan Wilson. Jordan Wilson. Sounds like a guy I went to school with. Jordan Wilson.
Why?
Of the Peabody Wilsons,
Shake.
I knew your father well.
Doot, doot, doot.
Da-da-da.
They play that theme song on KLSX.
Do they really?
Did you have yours?
Well, we have an advertising deal with them. Yeah.
They did. I don't believe you, but they did anyway. I was like, yeah, I know that song. Where's that from? Challenge Bowl. Okay. Fine.
Did they credit it? Did they say
No,
it's the
you
Challenge
didn't.
Bowl
They
theme?
didn't.
Some people call it Danny's theme.
Oh, that might have been it.
Okay, Todd.
Oh, that's different.
She's going like this.
Oh, we are. Okay.
Todd's going like that.
Are we really gonna do this?
Yeah. Yeah. I did it last time your girlfriend.
No shooters.
We know what it is. That's the funny part.
I'll do it.
Steve.
Both. Why not? I'll be going like this in history.
Cool. Yeah, I'll come over and use it.
That's the part. That's what you should do at the end. I'll stand up and you like get behind me and I'll put your arms out. And I'll have 6 arms going like this.
Actually, we should make up our own song. Let me see.
Join us as teams from 6 local high schools compete for prizes and an all-expenses-paid trip to Washington, D.C. Now, here's your host, Dan Reddington.
Hey, hello. Welcome once again to the Challenge Bowl. We're rolling right along. We're already in the middle of week 8. We're right in the middle of the elimination round. Remember, way back when we started, we had 6 teams: Jordan, St. Anthony, Wilson, Lakewood, Milliken, and Pauley. St. Anthony went through the winner's round undefeated. Now they're waiting in the wings to see who will challenge them for that trip to Washington, D.C. We've already lost 2 teams in the elimination round. Lakewood and Milliken, we said bye-bye, and we hope they're still watching. Tonight's game features 2 teams who have won in the elimination round: Wilson and Jordan. Let's have a big hand for these 2 teams who've won.
Hey!
Yes.
Yeah, Wilson.
And let's meet them, shall we? On my right, back from last week's victory,
Right.
Wilson High School, Charles Ballo, team captain. Charles, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Good day to introduce.
Please introduce
Okay.
us to your teammates.
Well, right next to me again is the beautiful, elegant, marvelous Maggie Swartz.
Marvelous, we
Right.
figured, yes, that was coming.
And next to her is terrific Todd Foreman.
All right, welcome back and good luck
Yay!
tonight. And on my left, from Jordan High School, winners 2 weeks ago, Nguyen Pham. Welcome back, Nguyen. Here we go. Introduce me to your teammates, please.
To my left is Stella Cortez, and to her left is Woody Lee.
All right,
All right.
welcome back. Good luck to both these teams. Here we go. Remember,
Come on, guys.
tonight's winner plays next week. Tonight's loser is eliminated, so a lot on the line. We're going to play 4 rounds. Rounds 1 and 2, each answer is worth 5 points. Rounds 3 and 4, each correct answer is worth 10 points. Here's how we play. To go over it one more time, I read the questions. When you think you have an answer, you hit your buzzer. I'll stop reading the question, you give your answer. If you're correct, you hear this sound, and your team scores the points. If you're incorrect, I'll finish reading the question for the other team. They'll get a chance to buzz in, answer the question, and get the points right. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I wasn't enthusiastic enough. Are you ready? Me and my big mouth. Here we go. This first series of questions deals with the rights, liberties guaranteed by the Constitution. First question worth 5 points. Originally, the Constitution did not have a Bill of Rights. Yes.
First 10 amendments.
That's the correct answer. Let me just hold these cards up to the light, make sure they're not see-through. Yes, the first session of Congress met in 1789 with a series of proposed amendments, which were to be called the Bill of Rights.
All right.
First 10 amendments, 5-0. This question has 2 answers. Unlike other civil liberties, the First Amendment restriction on government with respect to religion is too... Stella.
There can't be a national religion, and anybody can have their own religion.
That's correct, yes. What are the 2 prohibitions? An establishment of religion and interference with the free exercise of religion, or one's freedom to worship as one chooses. What she said. 5-5. The Constitution provides for equal justice under the law. Which amendment...
The 6th Amendment?
No. Which amendment denies to the states and the national government the power to establish slavery?
The 13th Amendment?
The 13th Amendment. 10-5. And some Challenge Bowl aerobics on the side here. The Supreme Court has decreed that evidence gained as a result of an illegal act by police officers cannot... Stella.
Exclusionary rule.
Yes, cannot be used against the person from whom it was seized. It's called the exclusionary rule. 10-10.
Let's go.
2 answers to this question. The Constitution, Supreme Court, and congressional acts have provided safeguards against illegal wiretapping. What 2 conditions... When?
Probable cause and a warrant.
What 2 conditions must be in operation for law enforcement officials to use wiretapping? 15-10. Back and forth, back and forth. Don't go away. The 5th Amendment provides that no person shall be twice put in jeopardy. Maggie.
Double jeopardy.
Yes. Can't be tried twice for the same crime. Okay. She was like, had it and got it. The Bill of Rights has several guarantees relating to a fair trial. Which amendment provides that no person shall be held to answer for when?
The Fifth Amendment.
That no person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentiment or indictment of a grand jury. 20 to 15. Out of what historic Supreme Court case has it become mandatory that before police question... Yes.
Miranda versus Arizona.
Yes.
All right.
They must be told their constitutional rights relating to self-incrimination. 25 to 15. A little lead here for Jordan. A constitutional guarantee relating to a fair trial provides a person accused of a crime the right to an adequate...
Writ of habeas corpus?
No. The right to an adequate defense or legal counsel. This right is incorporated into which amendment? Maggie.
Sixth Amendment?
The Sixth Amendment. While the Constitution reserves to the states the power to set suffrage qualifications, it does place restrictions on the states. No state may deprive any person of the right to vote on account of race, color, or creed. Stella.
15th Amendment.
15th Amendment. Let's go to some Long Beach questions here in the first round.
Let's go.
Hands on your buzzers, worth 5 points each. First question. The Catalina Island Indians of the 16th century had first contact with the Spanish. Who led the Stella.
Cabrillo.
Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo, 1542. 35 to 20. In 1784, the governor of Southern California granted unoccupied Maggie.
Manuel Nieto.
Yes. Yes, no?
Oh, no?
Yes, it's a good one. The shot was in. It was tipped, and they thought it was goaltending, but on review of the tape, we've given them the points.
All right.
And it's 35 to 25. Two ranchos of the 1800s.
Rancho
Maggie.
Los Cerritos and Rancho Los Alamitos.
Yes, were to become the site of Long Beach and surrounding communities. 35-30. This question has two answers. By the mid-1800s, Rancho Los Alamitos and Rancho Los Cerritos.
Stearns and Temple.
Stearns and Temple. They were purchased by two Americans. Name them. Don Abel Stearns, Don Juan Temple, and the rest of the Temple family. This question has four answers. Using landmarks of today, describe the original boundaries. Stella.
10th Ocean, Magnolia, in California.
Yes. The original boundaries of Wilmore City. That's the end of round one. Our score is Jordan 45, Wilson 30. I don't think one question went unanswered in that round, so this is amazing. All right, this series of questions deals with the legislative branch. 5 points each. The Constitution establishes a bicameral...
Congress.
When? The Constitution establishes a bicameral Congress. Define bicameral. Maggie.
Consisting of two houses?
Yes, made up of two houses or chambers. 45-35. In the year
You
45.
betcha.
Congress may adjourn each session as it sees fit. However, for when?
Each house gets to consent on the other's adjournment.
Okay. Hey, you did a good job there of guessing what I was going to ask. For either house to adjourn, which body must give its consent? The other house. The Constitution provides for the reapportionment of the seats in the House of Representatives. With the aid of the Census Bureau, which branch of government? Stella.
Congress.
Which branch of government has the responsibility to reapportion the House? It's Congress. It's 55-35. This question has three answers. The Constitution establishes the standards of age, citizenship, and residence for members of Congress. Maggie.
Well, let's see. If we're going for the House, you have to be 25. You have to live in the state you represent, and be a U.S. citizen for at least 7 years.
She's going for the House, and she's got the House. That's for the House.
And for the Senate, you have to be a U.S. citizen for 9 years, be at least 30 years old, and live in the state you represent. Yeah!
There you go. There you go.
Whoa.
That was a toughie. She got it. You didn't even want to buzz in, did you, Maggie?
No,
Your
not
hand just
that
automatically went, and she went, oh, now I did it. Okay. Since the Constitution specifies how many senators shall Maggie?
2 per state for a total of 100.
Judges? Okay. It indirectly establishes the total number, how many senators serve in the Senate. So they're getting good at like answering like 3 things at a time and covering all bases. Okay. And Arizona, Dan. Okay. It is customary for the members of the House of Representatives to be seated in the House chambers when?
Republicans on the left, Democrats on the right.
Right. Okay. Most of the business of Congress is done through committees to which bills are referred.
Standing committees.
Standing committees, yes. What kind of committees have no chairs? It's the standing committees. This question has two answers. The voting procedures in the Senate differ from those in the House in two ways. What are these differences? Stella.
In the House, it's teller votes and electronic process.
Yes, the Senate does not take teller votes or electronic process, and the House does. What's our score? A little update, 70-45. Jordan out in front. The federal government may acquire property by purchase or as a gift. It may do so, too, through the exercise when?
Eminent domain.
Yes, the power to take private property for public use. Eminent domain. The Constitution does not allow the states to take part in foreign relations. Which branches of Todd?
Executive branch.
Okay, which branches of government have the power?
Executive and Congress.
Yes, related to foreign affairs, Congress. Let's move on to some Long Beach questions. All right, the first question is a visual question. Hands on your buzzers, here we go.
The Magnolia Pier.
Yes. The first privately owned pier, built from the beach in 1885 by the Long Beach Land and Water Company, the Magnolia Avenue Pier. Thank you, Charles. That's where you'll be going if you're a winner in the Challenge Bowl.
Let's go.
This next question's a visual.
The Pike.
No, I'm sorry. By 1904, the city's original municipal pier had been damaged by Stella.
Pine Avenue Pier.
The Pine Avenue Pier. It had been damaged by pre-breakwater tides and storm-driven waves. This was the first of its kind double-deck pier on cement pilings. This question has three answers, and we're the visual, so stay tuned.
Okay.
The early 1900s found the development of an amusement center. Maggie.
Okay. The Plunge, the Virginia Hotel, and the Pike. Oh,
No, I'm sorry. Amusement center along the ocean front near the Pine Avenue Pier. Give three names by which the area was to be known over the years. Stella.
The Strand, the Walk of a Thousand Lights, and the Pike.
Yes, or you could have said the boardwalk, the Pike on the Strand, and the new Pike. This next question's also a visual.
The Plunge.
Yes. 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 Built July 4th, 1902. That's the end of the first half of our show. When we come back, correct answers will be worth 10 points. Don't go away. The score is Jordan, 90. Wilson, 55. I think. Two.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's right. You guys are nice and frantic. What? You guys are.
Yeah, I bet you're hurting it when you get excited and you slam down on the thing. Is that?
Oh, there she's clapping.
Yeah, so, oh yeah, remember her? She's clapping. Yeah. To make her happy. Good.
Okay.
Good, yeah, we're about a minute shy, so we're doing great.
Okay. That's well, they're answering them before I even get them read, for crying out loud.
Well, that's good, so we got time to play if you want. You okay with it coming in the second half?
Yeah.
The new stuff we wanted to do?
I'll do the grid first, then intro the new players. Or do you want me to intro the new players and then go to the grid?
We do the grid at the end of the third.
Prizes. You want me to do the prizes?
Prizes.
You want to do the prizes and then intro the players, or intro the players and then go
Prizes, then intro the players.
Okay, and then right into the game. And then right into the game.
Yeah, we're okay, I need to tell you, but we don't mention how long, because they're not sure. I think Sacramento's 4 days and Washington's a week, but they're not sure. So
Okay.
that's all we need to know is that they got all expenses paid round trip to bring Percy to get me over there, and
All expenses is a key word.
yes, all expenses. That's it.
I'm not going to win this person. I just...
Happens every week.
Sorry, Mr. Reddington.
Stay off my hands. I'm shy about them. So it's going all right?
Everything's
It's
going really
okay.
good. Really good. How you doing?
I feel fine. It's going fine.
It doesn't look like it's out of control or anything. So.
Ah.
All right. We're having fun with it.
It's contained. It's contained.
I think that's good.
All right.
I know I got that. Because all I do is building.
Yeah, I got you Snickers. Yo,
I
yo,
know,
right
it's
here.
on the side. 'Cause I can't like.
Hey, Milky Way this. Oh,
You're shining, man.
we have a lively couple of teams here, and the score is Jordan 90, Wilson 55. Still anybody's game because questions are going to be worth 10 points now. That's just 3.5 questions down. Before we go on, we're chugging towards the end of the Challenge Bowl here, so we wanted to let you know what the grand prize winner was going to get. They're going to get an all-expenses-paid round trip to Washington, D.C., provided by TWA. And in case you're wondering what the runner-up winners will get, the runner-up team will get an all-expense-paid trip to Sacramento, California, provided by American Airlines. So there's something in this for everybody. Oh, big round of applause there. And right before we go into these questions, we have a new player on Wilson. Charles, introduce us to your new teammate.
Mike Lafkis.
Hi, Mike. We recognize Mike from his numerous appearances here on the Challenge Bowl. Welcome back, Michael. Let's go into round 3. Correct answers now are worth 10 points. This series of questions deals with the executive branch of the government of the United States of America. Question 1. In addition to unifying the presidency in one person, the Constitution defined a fixed term of office, which could be, Maggie,
4 years.
which could be 2 to 7 elected. What is the length of term for the president? Okay. Enthusiasm, 90 to 65. While the Constitution places no limit upon the number of terms a president might serve, when?
22nd Amendment.
No. A no third-term tradition became the unwritten rule. Who broke the tradition? Margaret.
FDR. Roosevelt.
Yes. Franklin Delano Roosevelt served 4 terms. 90 to 75, just like that, back in the thick of it. When people vote in a presidential election, they vote to elect presidential...
The Electoral College.
Electors. The Constitution... Here we go. Here we go. 90 to 85. Most of the president's major steps in foreign affairs are taken in consultation with the Charles.
Executive privilege.
No, I'm sorry. They are taken in consultation with the NSC. What is the formal name? When?
National Security Council.
The National Security Council. 100 to 85. Took a guess, got in there quickly? It was a good guess. International agreements are made between the president and the head of a foreign state which do not, when?
Executive agreement.
They do not require Senate consent. They're called executive agreements. The Constitution gives the president broad military powers. The nation's concern over the war in Vietnam led Congress to pass a resolution
The War Powers Resolution.
in 1973 which placed limits on the president's war-making powers. As part of its system of checks and balances, the Constitution gives certain legislative powers to the president. For example, should the president not approve...
Veto.
Stella. Presidential veto. The president does not approve of a legislative measure, he may refuse to sign it. No, I'm not going to sign it. Will. The Constitution provides the president with powers of clemency, which may be used only in cases of federal offenses. What term is used to describe a postponement or... When? Ooh, sorry. What term is used to describe a postponement of the carrying out of a sentence? Someone on Wilson.
what?
Sentence. Sentence. Michael.
Pardon?
I said, what term? No. The answer is a reprieve.
Oh, well.
All right, good try. 120 to 95.
Yay!
This question has 3 answers. Several agencies of the national government have the word federal in their title and are known by their initials. Given the initials, provide the full title. FBI, FAA, FHA. When?
FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Could you name them? Could you?
FAA?
Federal Aviation Administration and Federal Housing Administration.
That's right.
Right.
FBI, FAA, FHA. 130 to 95, time for some Long Beach questions. This series of questions will highlight persons and places central to aviation history in Long Beach. Question 1, worth 10 points. In 1921, Long Beach established its first airport on some 80 acres of land. Maggie.
The Long Beach Municipal Airport.
At Cherry Avenue and Spring Street, the original name, Long Beach Municipal Airport, 130 to 105. From the early days of manned flight, aviation and Long Beach had a future together. Whose vision and...
Doherty?
In case you're wondering, they got it correct. Whose vision and enthusiasm during the early years of aviation earned him the title Father of the Long Beach Airport? This question is a visual question. It was on November 22nd, Charles.
World War II?
No. I'll finish it now for Jordan. It was on November 22nd, 1940, that the first spadeful of Earth was turned. Stella.
McDonnell Douglas Aircraft.
No. It's the Douglas Aircraft Company, and at that time, it was not the McDonnell Douglas Aircraft Company.
Good try.
All right.
All right.
It's a good try.
Let's go, Wilson.
This question has two answers. Since the early days of aviation in Long Beach, literally thousands of airplanes have been built. When was the first airplane built in Long Beach, and who was the builder? Charles.
Cal Rogers, 1921.
No, I'm sorry. Anybody on Jordan have a guess? Since the early... Who? When was the first airplane built in Long Beach, and who was the builder? I guess time's up. Oh, and that's the end of that round. The answer, let me tell you, in case you're wondering at home, it was 1910, Bernard Burney. Right. It's 1:30 to 1:15, and before we go to our fourth and final round of tonight's show, let me show you how the elimination round is progressing to this point. Our early pairings in the elimination round, Jordan played Lakewood. Jordan defeated Lakewood. Lakewood was eliminated. Jordan moved on to play tonight. The next game saw Milliken play Wilson. Wilson won. Milliken was defeated. Tonight's game, Jordan versus Wilson. The winner of tonight's game moves on to play Pauley next week. The loser of tonight's game, unfortunately, is eliminated. Then, the winner of next week's game, winner of tonight's game, Jordan Wilson, playing Pauley next week, will then move on to play St. Anthony in the championship game for the trip to Washington, D.C. Remember, all these games can be seen in Long Beach on Channel 32, Lakewood Channel 44, 7:30 every night of the week.
All right.
Let's go to round 4.
Let's do it.
These questions will consider the judicial branch. Question 1. The framers of the Constitution recognized that the lack of a national judiciary, Charles,
Article 3.
was a major weakness of the early government. The framers created the national judiciary in a single sentence found where? Article 3. The Constitution, with its amendments, has guarantees of personal freedom. Which body of the national government, when?
The judicial.
Is charged with the responsibility to interpret and apply the constitutional guarantees. The judicial branch, 140-125. In cases involving the possible conflict of federal and state laws, Maggie,
Courts?
which level of the federal judiciary must decide whether state laws conform to the requirements of federal statutes and the Constitution? When?
The Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court. 150-125. A case or controversy that requires a judicial decision must be brought to the court that has the authority to hear... Charles.
The district courts.
No, it must be brought to the court that has the authority to hear or decide the case. What do we call the court's authority to do so?
Original jurisdiction?
Judges, it's jurisdiction. All right, what do you got in there? 160-125. Still anybody's game. The Constitution specifies certain types of cases over which the Supreme Court has original jurisdiction. Which branch of government determines the original... Charles.
The legislative.
Yes, determines the original and appellate jurisdictions of the lower federal courts. Although most decisions of a court are final, sometimes one of the parties to a case...
An appeal?
No, I'm sorry. Sometimes one of the parties to a case decides to challenge the original court's... Stella.
Court of Appeals?
The Court of Appeals, yes. Now, you didn't quite have the answer we were looking for there, Maggie. This question has two answers. The Constitution established the Supreme Court as the high court of the national judiciary. To whom is given the responsibility to appoint...
The President appoints and the Senate approves.
That's right. 170-145. The democratic ideal insists that there are areas of activity prohibited to government. In America, the major responsibility for the preservation of this concept of limited government is placed upon which branch? Maggie.
Judicial branch.
The judicial branch, the Supreme Court. 171-55. It has been said that the Supreme Court has nationalized the Bill of Rights by holding that most of its protections apply against the states, upon which amendment has the court... Maggie.
10th Amendment?
No, I'm sorry. Upon which amendment has the court based its decisions in this regard? Someone on Jordan.
Can you repeat that again?
All right. It has been said that the Supreme Court has nationalized the Bill of Rights by holding that most of its protections apply against the states, upon which amendment has the court based its decisions...
That's the 11th
Woody.
Amendment.
No.
Oh.
No. It's the 14th Amendment. But I like your confidence there.
Confidence.
A landmark Supreme Court case reaffirmed in our constitutional system a broad interpretation of the powers granted to... Woody.
Marbury versus Madison?
No. A broad interpretation of the powers granted to Congress. By what name is this case known?
McCulloch versus Maryland?
McCulloch versus Maryland. 170, 165, and we move on to some Long Beach questions taken from a variety of sources. The first one is a visual. Long Beach boosters... Charles.
The Methodist.
No, I'm sorry. Long Beach boosters of the 1920s liked to boast that its men's Bible class was the largest of its kind in the world. Who was the originator? Stella.
Tobman?
Yes, Dr. George P. Tobman. During the early days of Long Beach, George R. Crow led the organization of gatherings of people for education. When?
Spin Argue or the University by the Sea?
No. For education, inspiration, culture, and music. What name was given to these meetings? Someone on Wilson. Charles.
The Tabernacle Club.
Ooh. It was the Chautauqua or the Chautauqua Assembly. This next question is a visual question. A popular beach... Charles.
The Sun Parlor.
No, I'm sorry. A popular beach attraction is shown to the left of the Pine Avenue Pier. Stella.
Pavilion?
The Pavilion is the correct answer.
Thank you.
A dramatic tragedy occurred on May 24th, 1913, as a crowd had gathered on the entrance ramp to the Pavilion of the Pine Avenue Pier. When?
It burned.
No. In celebration of a special day. What was the special day that has given its name to this tragedy? Someone on Wilson. Michael.
4th of July.
No. It was May 24th, 1913. Empire Day, it was called. That's the end of our game. The final score, Jordan 190, Wilson 165. What a game. It was close all the way through. I was in doubt the whole way who was going to pull it out. Wilson, you had 165 points, and we really appreciated your enthusiasm. You were a delight to have on here, and good luck to all of you going on down the line. A big hand for you. You played real well. Jordan, winners, a very good game. Great game, real nip and tuck. My palms are still sweating. Next week, you'll be playing Pauly to determine who will then go on and face St. Anthony in the championship round. So good luck to you then. Good luck to Pauly and St. Anthony waiting in the wings. As always, we just want to say thanks to everybody. Remember, you can see these games 7:30 every night. Long Beach, Channel 32, Lakewood, Channel 44. Next week's game, Jordan versus Pauly. Bye-bye. Wow.